Hi, my name is Amanda White. This is my daughter Kelsey White. We are discussing today her scoliosis and what she went through and when she found out she had it and what she's able to do now. Kelsey, how old are you?
16.
And how old were you when we first discovered that things were different with your back?
Probably like 12.
Yeah. And what did you notice?
I didn't notice. My uncle noticed. He said that I had two backs.
He said you had two backs. Yeah. And did you ever experience any pain?
Only whenever I'd stay in the same spot for a long period of time. It was like really stiff and...
Standing and sitting?
Yeah. No, not standing. Mostly sitting and laying down and stuff.
Were you concerned that, you didn't know what it was? Were you concerned with it?
At first I was, but then whenever we researched it and found that a lot more people had it than I thought, I wasn't concerned because I knew that people knew a lot about it, so I knew that it could be treated.
You were more concerned with having to wear a brace, weren't you?
Yeah, but I didn't have to do that.
And why were you concerned with wearing a brace?
Because I didn't want to get made fun of.
It was embarrassing, right? Okay. And so when we noticed it, you went to the doctor, and what did we do while we were there? What did he say?
Well, the first time I went to the doctor, he said, "Oh, this is not bad at all. You can go along, no brace, no anything." So I thought I was in luck. And then, so my mom wasn't really happy with him, and so we went to a new doctor, Dr. Brock. And the first time I went and saw him, he said, he took x-rays and he said that he wished the other doctor had put me in a brace because that could have stopped it where it was and it wouldn't have curved anymore. But at that first visit with Dr. Brock, it was at a 38 degree curvature. And so he said that he wanted to see me back in about, 6 months? Mm-hmm. And so after 6 months I went back and I felt like it had moved a little bit, but after he took the x-rays he said it was at 52 degree curvature and then I was going to have surgery, and I was just kind of like...
And that was in December.
Yeah, and then I was going to have surgery in March.
And how did you feel about knowing that you were going to have surgery? Were you concerned about what they were going to do?
I wasn't really concerned at first. I was just concerned with how I was going to look afterward and mostly if it was going to hurt. But once I knew I was going to have surgery, it didn't really bother me. I was just kind of like, okay, well, I'm going to have to do this no matter what, so I might as well just toughen up. You
weren't concerned with scarring or anything like that, or slightly?
Not really. I like scars.
You like scars? Why do you like scars?
Because they spark conversation.
Spark conversation? Okay. And what did we have at that point? What type of scoliosis did he tell you had? Do you remember?
Idiopathic.
Idiopathic scoliosis. And that means, for y'all who don't know, and we discussed earlier, it is a curvature of the spine. It's idiopathic, means it has no rhyme nor reason. It just...
it basically means only idiots get it.
So...
But I'm not an idiot. I'm just a rare case.
And what were some of the things he discussed about surgery? Like, what did we have to do to prepare for surgery?
I had to go get blood, which that was pretty cool. I like that. And then he told us to research it just to get more comfortable with it, and then he said just to pray a lot, so that's what we did.
Yeah, and they went in, and what did they put in your back? What kind of, did they put rods?
Yeah.
Yeah, they put 2 large rods in her back. They did a spine fusion. And
I was asleep, so I didn't know.
How was it that morning when you woke up for surgery?
It was interesting. I wouldn't say it hurt. I was just more like drowsy because of all the medicine. But after that went away, that night I started to notice the pain, especially when they made me stand up, and then from there it went all downhill, and it started hurting, but I mean, it was tough. I didn't really bother me. The worst pain was not being able to eat for 2 days. So.
Were you anxious that morning before the surgery?
No, I was actually not scared at all. I was just ready to get it over with.
And when did they have you, like immediately after surgery? Do you remember when they made you stand up and start moving?
Okay, so I went in at like 7:30 for surgery, right? And then I woke up about 2, right? And then I went back to sleep, and about 8 o'clock they made me stand up out of the bed. And I stood up, but then I couldn't walk because I felt like I was going to pass out, so I just laid back down, and then after that I was awake, so it started to hurt, so it was hard to sleep, but the next morning, whenever I'd wake up, it was fine. So it was just at night.
Nights were the hardest.
Because I just couldn't get comfortable.
Okay.
They kept waking you up, trying to check your blood pressure and stuff.
And did they make you, what kind of rehab did you have to go through in the hospital?
Just walk.
Walk a lot.
Yeah, that was pretty much it. Just walk.
And it was pretty painful, even with all the medicine?
Once I was walking, it was fine. It was just getting out of the bed that was the hard part, because you had to like lift with your arm and use your back muscles, and my muscles had just been like cut in half. So.
Okay, so we got you. You were in the hospital for 5 days, right? And we get you home. And how long between then and when the time you left the hospital and got home did you start feeling better? Did you feel more comfortable?
I like the hospital more because you could lay in the comfortable beds, and like you could adjust the beds. And because I always sleep on my stomach, but they made me sleep on my back, and so it was really uncomfortable. Because in the hospital beds you could like adjust it and get comfortable, but in my bed it was just flat, so I just had to lay there and couldn't get comfortable. But once I fell asleep, I was fine. But every morning I'd have to call my mom on my phone and tell her to come help me get out of bed. Couldn't do it on Sunday.
And what was the first thing you noticed when you got out of surgery that you were concerned with? Because your back was so crooked that you know, as a teenage girl, you were...
Yeah, I wanted to look good on my mom. I just wanted like... my waistline was kind of cinched over on one side, so after the surgery, it like straightened it all out.
And you had more of a waistline at that point, and your back was straight. And how many inches in height did you gain?
1.5. I think I was 5'4" and a quarter before surgery, and then after surgery I was like 5'5" and 3/4 or something like that. But then after it like shrunk down a little bit, so I'm like 5'5" and a quarter now.
So it really changed your appearance.
Wait, no, what was yeah.
So it really changed your appearance, and you felt better about yourself?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You were not allowed to do any activities for how long after surgery?
6 months.
And what was the first activity you did?
I went snowboarding in Colorado, yeah.
And were you nervous about it?
The first one, yeah, but then once I fell a lot, but then once I fell, I was like, oh, I can do this, so after that I just went all out.
So,
like it never happened, and ever since then I just don't even notice it anymore.
Yeah, so you're not restricted from any physical activities?
No, not really. I mean, I just can't go lift 500 pounds. I could before, but now I can't.
So, this has really affected your lifestyle,
but in a good way.
Yeah.
At first, yeah, it's always been good.
So you're glad you had the surgery.
I'll do it again.
You would do it again. And don't you go to the hospital now and talk to other children and their parents about what you experienced and what you went through?
Mm-hmm.
And how's that? That's
it makes me feel good about myself, because stop laughing. Because I can impact people in a positive way whenever they're going through something bad. So.
That's good. And do you experience any pain levels now?
Only, not really. I mean, same as before. Whenever I lay down like for a long time or sit in the same spot for a long time, I mean, it'll get stiff, but it's not bad. I mean, And everyone has back pain, and I do too, so.
Okay, well, thank you for taking the time to help us with our project and telling everybody a little bit about your surgery. Would you be comfortable at all if anybody saw your scar or not? It's okay if you don't want to.
Okay.
Would you like to see the top of it? Can we see just the top? Okay. And then that way it runs.
Am I gonna look fat on this camera?
They're gonna see your bottom.
Okay.
But this is it now, and it runs from here to way down here, and she has 2 rods that run across her back right here, and fused it, and now as you can see she sits up straight and everything's straight.
Can you pull it down one more time, just so I can create a clear shot?
Yeah.
You can sit up.
Well, let's go down. So, and that'll just give you an idea. And this was a year ago in March that she had this surgery, so.
No, last March was here.
Yeah, so it's a year and a half?
Yeah.
So, and that's just a little bit of scar. So, thank you again, and we appreciate you taking the time.
You're welcome.